Since 1986, Land Pride has consistently led the way with a complete line of high-quality ag, turf, and light construction tools. No matter what you need to accomplish, we have the tool to help you get your work done. See our full line at www.landpride.com.
Just the basics. The customers tell me that they want to know when their parts are worn out. They want to talk about worn out parts.
What do you tell them?
Oh, like disc blades, they have a certain dimension that they need to be before they're replaced, so you just go over information like that. Of course, the real precision planning, obviously that's important. And of course there's a company over in Illinois that's probably woke up John Deere as a company and us as a dealership and making us take planning a lot more seriously. So yeah, we're explaining to customers how to make their planners work just as good as they can without having to go and buy some aftermarket parts. But it's also reached a point too, and I kind of asked, threw this question out at this last planner clinic. At what point do we need to keep throwing money on our planters to try to get that extra bushel to the acre, and are we going to recoup that cost in the end? And don't take that wrong by me thinking that planning's not important, because it is the most important thing that we do each year. Because without doing a good job of planning, we're not going to have a good harvest. But it looks to me like we just keep throwing money after money on these planters to try to get that extra bushel, but we never get that back in the end. But so much of this, I feel, is neighbor peer pressure. One neighbor, hey, I put this on, it's really going to work great, and you ought to do it. And well, I'm going to give an example. This is a planning example, and I do take planning very seriously. Had a customer a couple years ago come in, and he was not happy with how his John Deere planter was working. He was ready to throw some money down on the counter to do something, whether it was buying the John Deere Pro 40 or if he was going to buy the precision seed meters. So I quizzed him and found out what was going on. And I says, you know, I can make that planter do exactly what you want to do, and it ain't going to cost you a penny. Well, how are you going to do that? And I says, well, from what you're explaining to me, you're using the wrong seed disc. I says, if you have a small seed disc at home, you put that in, and I will guarantee you that it will take care of your problems. So that spring, he did his planning. He got done planning. He called me up and he says, you know, I watched my monitor. It showed he was putting on the right seeds. But he says, you wouldn't believe how much less seed I put in the ground. So he says, I hope you're right. But he says, I actually put less seed in the ground this year than what I have in the past.
Yeah.
That fall he called me up and he says, you know, I got the same yield, if not just a little bit better, and my stand was just perfect. So the whole problem is, and I'll take blame for this, and I'll also blame John Deere for it. We sold the customers their planters, but we never told them how to operate them. The people in Illinois, the precision people, they made it more aware to us what we were doing wrong, so we have to educate our customers on how to use their equipment. We can't just sell it to them, we have to educate them. And we've been guilty of it for years. I'll be the first to admit it. So that's the reason I take clinics so seriously, because I'm asking the customers to come in and spend an hour with me, so I want to give them a good hour's worth of information.
Since 1986, Land Pride has consistently led the way with a complete line of high-quality ag, turf, and light construction tools. No matter what you need to accomplish, we have the tool to help you get your work done. See our full line at www.landpride.com.